Hey guys, welcome back to Shep Talk. Today we'll be doing a movie review of Zombieland Double Tap, the sequel to the 2009 movie Zombieland. But first, a few admin notes. If you like what you see here, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. It helps my channel out greatly, guys, and I truly appreciate it. Now, on to the review. Quick synopsis. The crew is still together a few years later, and this time they're trying to find a home, but realize that being around each other all the time isn't all that great, and so they got to try to deal with it. As many of you know, I'm a big fan of the first Zombieland, so when Zombieland 2 was announced, I was very excited, especially that they got the whole group together again. I don't know if you guys have known this, but one of Amazon's first pilot programs was trying to do a Zombieland TV show. They didn't have the same cast, and they tried doing their own thing, and it was just terrible. It was a bad pilot. I'm glad that it didn't get picked up by Amazon because it was just terrible. That being said, Zombieland Double Tap is definitely way above Zombieland, the Amazon Prime Zombieland television show that they did. I'm going to say right off the bat, it's probably on par with Zombieland, the original. They pretty much, the cast, man, they get together. It's like they haven't left. The chemistry is still there, in my opinion. The way they bounce off each other and interact with each other is just great. It's like they didn't leave. I will say probably one of my negatives about this movie, though, with the cast was the writers for Tallahassee. It seemed like they didn't know where they wanted Tallahassee to go and what direction that he wanted, to look for his future. And that was probably one of the major drawbacks for me, was that his character just seemed a little bit off. He had some of the same quirks he did in the first one, but didn't seem 100% himself, or at least the writing for him didn't seem 100% for himself. And of course, you got Zombieland 2, you got the sequel. What are you going to do differently? Why is this movie being made by, leaving Zombieland being the original? And they do try to up the ante a little bit. At the very beginning, they explained that the zombies have mutated, they have evolved. At this time, there are 3 different types of zombies. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to say what they are. But again, at the beginning of this movie, though, it doesn't seem like our crew are really threatened a lot by the zombies. In fact, just like every modern day telling of a zombie, story, is not really focused on the zombies anymore. It's focused on the people. And it's not bad. Zombieland, hell, they've been around for 10 years. I'm sure they've come to figure out how to take care of zombies and not be worried about being bitten and stuff like that, or being attacked. It just, in this modern day, it's like, if you want a zombie movie, you're not going to usually see the zombies all the time. The zombies, especially in Zombieland and a lot of these new ones, the zombies aren't just they're not the main focus. They're more used as a driving force for the plot, vice, the plot itself. And so, yeah, you get these 3 main types of zombies with the rumor of a 4th super type zombie. It's almost like Resident Evil in a way, because these zombies are mutating and adapting to their environment, because of course, it's getting harder to find food sources and whatnot, so you got to figure out how you're going to adapt and overcome with that. But all in all, it's not really why we're coming to Zombieland. It's for the zombies. We're coming for the zombie kills, which they still have a couple of. The zombie kills of the week, zombie kills of the year. But we're really coming to find out what happened to Wichita, Tallahassee, Little Rock, and Columbus. And this is really that story of, okay, you're a group of people that have been living together for so many years. You hardly ever find another human. But, you got to deal with that, man. You're living with 3 people for years. I know it's got to be hard. I don't know if I could do that, where if I can go out and just hang out with other people, or even just go out off on my own and do something by myself. Probably drive me crazy as well. So that's the story, right? Is that you get this group of people that have come together because of circumstances. Would they be there together if the zombie apocalypse didn't happen? hard to tell. Probably not, because they're all so different in their past lives. There definitely would not have been any cross connections with either of them or either of them. And that's what this movie is kind of focusing on, is that what is the way ahead for the future, right? How are these guys going to interact with each other? How are this group going to develop? How are this group going to come, really survive going into the future? And just again, like you've seen in the trailers, there are some cameos in this movie. You see most of the cameos in the trailers, which is kind of sad. I think, again, it didn't detract from the movie, but I would have loved some of the surprises from being in the movie by knowing that they're happening because of the trailer. And I think that's a flaw with this, the studios in this day and age, is that they want you to come see the movies, so they're going to show you stuff in the trailer to get you to go to the movie. But when you get to the movie, it's like, oh, that was in the trailer. And so it was not all bad. The whole doppelganger between Woody Harrelson and Luke Wilson and Tom Middleditch and Jesse Eisenberg was very fun. It did have its comedic value, and they did do more than what was just in the trailer. But again, like these cameos, they're one and done. They're like, most of them are, you see them, they're gone. They have some impact on the movie, but not too great of an impact. And there are some cameos that do seem to be reoccurring kind of cameos, and I'm not going to get into that because I don't want to get into spoilers. But again, I like the cameos in this movie. I thought they were funny. I just wish most of the cameos we see were not shown in the trailer. And some of the other things I didn't like. The third act to me felt rushed. It felt like the writers really didn't know how they wanted this story to go or end. And then they were like, oh crap, we forgot about these zombies that we mentioned earlier on in the story. So let's bring them back and have this big, kind of confrontation at the end of this movie. But I thought it was done really quickly. It wasn't really done really well. It was like, okay, here we go, done. I didn't feel any kind of, dread or fear that my characters weren't going to survive this zombie encounter. And I know this is Zombieland, and we're not really going for that hardcore zombie kill. We're not looking for a Walking Dead where our characters die all the time. But I just thought that the third act could have been handled a little bit better. It just seemed like it was very fast paced. It seemed like, oh, this is what we're going to do. We need to get this done. A, B, C, and D, and done. Let's wrap up the film. But, not saying that's bad. I'm just saying that's the one issue I had pretty much with the movie, was that I thought we were having this great build up from, first act, second act, third act was like, oh, we got to throw some zombies in there somewhere, don't we? It's a Zombieland movie. I will say there is an end credit scene in this movie, so if you haven't seen this movie yet, stick to the very end. It's not very profound, but I thought it was funny and a good tribute to the Zombieland franchise. With that, I'm not going to say any more. That's all I'm going to say. There is an end credit scene, so make sure you stay to the very end. Now, what do I rate Give Zombieland Double Tap? I'm going to say it's 3 out of 5 Sheps, guys. 3 out of 5. And it's, like I said, it's on par with Zombieland. The comedy is there. They did have a good storyline. It was trying to drive where this group was going to go into the future. But again, like I said, I thought the third act was a little rushed. I thought the cameos could have been handled better without being put into the trailers. So it's a good movie. I recommend seeing it in the theaters. I give it 3 out of 5 Sheps. Remember, stay to the end because there is an end credit scene. And guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you at the next review.